what would be the anime Mount Rushmore? Now, I'm not going to stop at 4 because that's boring, because 4 would be quite easy. You'd basically decide between about 6 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the top 10 anime that deserve to be on the anime Mount Rushmore. We're going to have 10 faces on this mountain, and they're going to be immortalized for all of eternity. These are the 10 that I think will stand the test of time far beyond when they're finally ending, when they have been long gone, their creators are long gone. I think people will still be talking about them years from now. This is my opinion. If you disagree, that is fine. But this is the 10 anime I think are most likely to stand the test of time and will be basically immortalized in pop culture. Now, like I said, if you disagree, that is fine. Comment down below what your 10 would be, or maybe your top 5. Maybe those. We're going to talk about a few of them that are like guaranteed, but then when we get into like the questionable ones, tell me what you would put on there. I am curious what your guys' opinion is. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Doing that helps out the channel to make more videos like this, as well as unboxings and anime reviews and everything else that you may be interested in. So let's get started. Number 1 on the anime Mount Rushmore here, I'm going to put Dragon Ball. I can't not put Dragon Ball. I haven't even personally watched Dragon Ball, but to say that Dragon Ball is not one of, if not the biggest anime of all time, is just, you're not even, you're ignoring reality. Because before I was into anime, I knew about Goku. I knew about the Dragon Balls. I knew about some of the side characters that I have no clue who they are, but I knew about them because I had heard about them. I see them on TV. I see them on merchandise at American retailers. When there was no anime merch in American stores, there was Dragon Ball merch. Saying Dragon Ball is not on the Mount Rushmore, even if we said there's only 4 things on the Mount Rushmore, Dragon Ball would be on there. It is just, it's going to be on there. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Dragon Ball is on the mountain. Same thing with number 2 here, One Piece. Love it, hate it, say it's going on too long, whatever. It's on the mountain. There, you just can't deny it. It has become something that is going to outlive us all, because it is something that is going to be like, oh yeah, anime? Have you ever watched One Piece? When it's over, people are still going to tell you, hey, One Piece. Now, is there a reality to where the ending is botched so badly? And we're going to talk about this when we talk about some stuff that I left off the list. Is there a reality to where people say, the ending just wasn't that good, and then it starts to dwindle a little bit? Yes, but I think for the most part, there is no reality to where this ever falls out of the top 10. Now, could there be other anime that overpass it? Yes, and it obviously, like I said, it depends on the ending, because with an anime that long, if you mess up the ending, it holds so much weight at that point, because it has built up so much anticipation that if it fails, then people will they'll lose interest and they won't recommend it to anybody. But for now, One Piece is definitely on that mountain. Number 3, now I was considering not even including this because I feel like it's kind of cheating, but because it has become something that's kind of its own, I still think it deserves to be here. And that's Pokemon. If the anime didn't exist, Pikachu would not be the mascot that it is. People know Ash and Pikachu. People know the theme songs. People have watched the TV show. People have watched the movies. And it's just one of those things that even though there is, Ash and Pikachu's journey is over, they're doing other stuff now, like with Pokemon Horizons, they're still, Ash and Pikachu are still very much a household name. So I think it is, for now, a part of the conversation. Now, like I said, am I kind of cheating? Because Pokemon is kind of it's got the cards, it's got the video games, it's got all that, and it's kind of being held up by multiple things. Yes, but I still think it deserves to be here, simply because the anime became its own thing, and the anime may the card game better. It made the games better. You can't deny it. So Pokemon's on here as well. Number 4 is Naruto. And this is something that I'm going to talk about here in a minute. I have left off one of the big 3. And I know this is sacrilege. I am so sorry. But I'm going off my opinion because actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't actually watched or read any of the big 3. It's just not something that I've gotten into. But out of those 3, I don't think Bleach stands up to the other 2. One Piece and Naruto is something that I knew about far before I started getting into anime. Naruto was a show that played on TV networks that I would watch as a kid. One Piece was something I had heard about because of how long it was, even whenever I'm still new to anime. So before I was into that, I had heard One Piece is a very big anime. So it's something that has stuck with me for a while. But I say that because I didn't hear about Bleach. Bleach was never a show that I had heard about before I got into anime. And even whenever I got into anime, the only reason that I really found out about it is because they made Funko Pops of it. I was like, I don't know what Bleach is. And then whenever I looked into it, I thought, oh, it's part of this big 3 that I've always heard about. I'm sorry if you're a big Bleach fan, but it's not on my top 10. I think there are other shows that are better than it, and not quality-wise, but better in being immortalized. And I think in the test of time, other things will pass Bleach. And I think a lot of things already have. But Naruto's on there. Naruto's definitely on there. Number 5. Now we're getting into controversial ones, because those first 4, I think everybody would kind of agree with. Even if you disagree a little bit, like maybe you say, well, Bleach should have been on there, Pokemon shouldn't have been on there. Those 5, swap out Bleach, put in Pokemon, whatever. Everybody kind of agrees with that. So those aren't really controversial. Now we're getting into the controversial ones, and I think number 5, Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is a show that I think, because of its quality, because it stuck the landing, controversial or not, it's kind of like a Star Wars prequel situation, to where it isn't necessarily an ending that is nothing you can't talk about. Like with the Star Wars sequels, there's nothing to talk about. They are disappointing in a way that is not, there's nothing to discuss. They're just bad, and I think a lot of people agree they're bad. And the quality that they have is, oh, well, they're good in the CGI, or the acting is good. But whenever it comes to the storytelling, there's no controversy there. It's just, yeah, it's not very good. But with the prequels, what you have is, you have this really complex story. And yes, some people don't exactly agree with how certain things were done. But even then, you can still say that is a beautifully crafted story. And it is something to remember for all time. I think the same thing applies with Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is a show that I think many, many years from now, people will always say, that's a show you should watch. Because it just is something that this era of anime, I think, is becoming more story driven. It is no longer about these multiple hundreds of episodes shows, because since anime is getting more and more popular, what is happening is they have to strive to get these series very popular very quickly. We're going to talk about more of that later. But with a show like Attack on Titan, it really nailed that like 110 episode structure there. And with that, it really was able to make a great story in a short, for an anime, amount of time. And I think that's what anime really is going to be as it moves forward. And I think this is a sign of what's to come. And I think as time passes by, this is going to be a show many, many people are recommended to say, yeah, that's an older anime, you definitely should go watch. Speaking of which, I think these next 2 are 2 that already have earned that status. And the first of which is Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is a series that I have heard about since I was a kid. My mom watched it when she was younger. So it is something that has already earned the status of being this juggernaut, and it is a completely different side of the coin from like Naruto or Dragon Ball, where those are more of the boy side. Sailor Moon introduced anime to a whole other side of the population, being women. That is something that I think is noteworthy, because you see Sailor Moon almost, not quite, but almost as much as you see Dragon Ball stuff. You look up anime merch on Etsy or whatever, you're going to see just as many people making custom Sailor Moon stuff as they are Goku and whatever else from Dragon Ball. I think that is noteworthy. But on the flip side of that, a show that does not necessarily have a lot of merch, but has garnered this reputation of being something that is amazing, that is just like almost like the Shawshank Redemption or the Citizen Kane of anime, to where, yes, maybe not everybody is going out and buying merch of it, but it is something to when you talk about the all-time great anime, it is something that comes up. And that is Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's something that I have heard for years is this all-time classic. It is this all-time great. And what they do is amazing. There is a reason there are memes of this show, because people, I think one of the greatest tests on how good something is how many memes it has. Look at Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. There are memes and memes and memes and memes of that show. There's a lot of memes of Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I think that's a good sign. And I think those memes, along with the fact, like I said, this is the Shawshank, this is the Citizen Kane, more and more people will, as time goes on, say that is a show you have to watch. And I think it deserves to be immortalized in our Mount Rushmore. Okay, we got 3 more, and I think these 3 are the most controversial ones that I will have today. Number 8, Demon Slayer. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know you got your pitchforks ready. You're saying you left out Bleach, but you're putting Demon Slayer on there. Let's kill him. And maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But I want you to hear me out. Okay, so Demon Slayer is kind of like the perfect storm, because the pandemic happened in 2020. And Demon Slayer was just then coming out. Like, the final movie that came out before theaters shut down and everything was Demon Slayer. And look it up. It's the highest box office film in 2020, Mugen Train. And I think what happened is it's this perfect storm of there is a lot of people that are going out to watch this. There is so many people that are excited to go watch Demon Slayer. And then we all get locked inside. And then what happens is they go tell their friends, hey, I've ran out of stuff to watch. I've watched Breaking Bad. I've watched all these old TV shows. What's something you've watched? And they say, hey, why don't you check out Demon Slayer? They just came out with a movie of that. You might be interested in that. There's only 1 season of it out right now. Go check it out. They go check it out. Hey, they made a new anime fan. It is impossible to deny that during 2020, during all that pandemic stuff, that there was a major increase in anime viewership. One of which, I think, is because of Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer led the pack in introducing a new generation to anime. Whether you think that's a good thing, whether you think that's awful for anime, if you think it should have stayed niche, that's not relevant right now. I think it is relevant, though, to say Demon Slayer is the big, like, it is the top of Mount Rushmore for anime fans right now. There's a reason why when a show is able to have a movie come out and it is getting a worldwide release simultaneously, there's no wait. It's not going to be released in a few weeks. It's not going to be released in a few months. It's getting a worldwide simultaneous release. That doesn't happen. That does not happen with anime, but it happened with Demon Slayer, and it will happen again. I am fully have my faith that the 3 Infinity Saga, or not Infinity Saga, that's Marvel, Infinity Castle movies will be released worldwide. And that is just to show you how popular Demon Slayer is right now. And I think because so many people have it as their first anime or one of their first, I think it will hold a lot of weight in people's hearts because, like many people, maybe Naruto was their first one, maybe Dragon Ball, maybe One Piece, Sailor Moon. I think a lot of people, Demon Slayer is going to be their first anime. And I think it's a good thing to put it on our Mount Rushmore. Number 9. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Hear me out. Hear me out. There was a time to where I had no clue what anime was. No clue. But I was somewhat involved in early internet. I saw her in memes and on internet pages, and I had no clue who she was. I had no clue. I thought she was just another random internet image that somebody drew her and then they're making memes of her. I knew this was coming out. I had no idea. This is something that I think should be warranted. Now, is there a new generation that doesn't exactly know who she is? Yes. But she is still this is still a series that's coming out. And I think if they ever announced, Kyoto Animation is struggling right now. If they ever were to announce, hey, we're continuing the anime, you would see a wave of fans come back and say, I am so excited for this anime to return. Because at this time, this was released in a different time of anime, and it's a different type of anime. Because this is more of it's got that slice of life element to it. And what happened is back then, there was not as many anime releasing at once. There was just a couple per season, if that. And so when this released, it was a big deal. Everybody watched it. There was not a lot of people in the anime community, but everyone was watching it. And so it got so massive in their little sphere to where the percentage of anime fans that had watched it at that time was massive. And yes, it's dwindling. It's number 9 on my list. But I think it definitely, right now, is there other anime that could come in that passes this? Yes. But for now, I think it deserves to be on this list. Now, I saved the best for last. And I mean this sincerely. This one is number 1. I kept it for last because I knew it'd be the most controversial. But it's number 1. Because it has been going on. It has not been going on for too long. But every chapter that has come out has been some of the best quality anime that we have ever seen. Every episode that has come out, peak fiction. You cannot make better content than what is being released here. And at the rate that it's going, this could be a series like One Piece that goes on for many, many, many years. Has multiple generations that can say, I was there to witness this series, this masterpiece. And when it finally does end, I have faith that it will have the best ending that we have ever seen out of anime. That they'll write movies about the production of this show. It is one of my favorite anime of all time, and I think it deserves to be the biggest face on our anime Mount Rushmore, and that's Rent a Girlfriend. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Do you disagree with 1 through 9? I mean, I know you can't disagree with number 10, but what do you think? Do you think I am wrong for putting Pokemon over Bleach or whatever? Let me know. And if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more, please subscribe. I hope to entertain you with many more videos like this and other ones of similar quality. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.